We are live. Hello. Hi. Anna Brooks here. How you doing? Okay. How is your morning going? And give it a second and see if anyone jumps on to the live stream live. Got a really kick-ass live stream for you today because I am inside your head. I am inside your head. I know what you're thinking. And I've discovered, like, I always knew this sort of, but like I really just know this now. Oh, yay, color. Color is good. Let's go with color. But I just like exploded with this realization this morning at how fast I am just now manifesting you to basically connect with me and to that I get you. I know what's in your head. I know you. And it was a very, it's going to be a very powerful live stream, I feel. So I'll give it a second. See if anyone else jumps on. Got my BCAAs. I was training legs this morning and I actually forgot to bring my BCAA bottle, so I ended up having a litre of water, which is fine. I need that anyway. But definitely needing my amino acids now to recover a little bit because I'm still going to be fasting for a few hours. I'm on a ridiculously high energy at the moment and so much just like, crazy going on because we've got the Winning Mindset Smackdown starting on Wednesday and tomorrow is the last day to secure your early bird rate and get in to the program before the price goes up like double. So I'm like ridiculously excited to get a few more people in and get you in so that we can change your life. We can basically get rid of sabotage. I mean, it's something that we all constantly deal with, right? It's just this thing that for me especially, and this is what this live stream is about because I'm in your head. I know what's going on. And oh my God, sabotage is like my bread and butter growing up. Not in terms of like my career, but in terms of just what I did. My God, like the binge eating, the procrastinating, the procrastinapping. That's one of my favorite words actually that I came up with. I don't know, maybe someone else did as well. But I remember the first time I came up with that procrastinapping, where I just got really good. Like I'm really good at sleeping, really good at it. It's like a life skill that I can just go to bed anytime, anywhere, whatever, except planes. Isn't that great? But maybe that's just the problem with economy, but that's okay. We're upgrading soon. But it's crazy. Yeah, I can sleep anywhere, anytime, whatever. I'm very good at sleeping. It's one of my great life skills. I'm very proud of it. So therefore, procrastinating is a real thing for me. If I feel like I'm avoiding something, I can just go to sleep like that and convince myself it's because I'm tired. So I'm great at it. Anyway, so this is why I'm doing a training on sabotage because I am like all over that shit. I have dealt with so much of it in my life. The biggest of which was definitely overcoming binge eating and emotional eating and overeating. So especially when it comes to health and fitness and that kind of thing, it's huge. It's huge. So I cannot wait to do this training. And you have to get in. You are crazy if you don't because it's just like, oh my God, are you done? Are you done with this sabotage? It goes on for so long. I still come across people now that think that it's like something they outgrow, that you just kind of one day become a real adult and you stop sabotaging. And it just doesn't work like that. Like it's really, I've come across people who are still, now in their 50s, 60s, 70s that are still like, oh yeah, no, sometimes I just can't help it. I just sabotage myself in this way or I do this and that kind of thing. And you're like, this isn't an age thing. This isn't like I've grown out of it. I'm now a real human adult. I can now go adulting. Doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. It's all about actually dealing with it at the core, dealing with it for what it actually is and what it's trying to tell you and stop trying to just push it down. So you are going to absolutely get right in there. I am not going to let you off the hook. I'm going to make you dig really deep, get really crystal clear on what the fuck is going on so that we can overcome it, so that I can help you to overcome it, basically. I've got to stop saying we because it's this thing that I think you've seen me talk about this on other live streams about not taking responsibility for other people and being their hero, right? I'm here to enable you, to inspire you, to empower you to take charge and create the kind of lifestyle by design, not by default, that you want. But that does not mean that I'm responsible for you doing or not doing the action, right? So this is a really, really big thing. So I'm going to inspire and empower and give you the tools and the techniques and everything you need to overcome sabotage once and for all, to know how to deal with it when it does want to prop up, and to actually start smashing those goals that you keep going, oh yeah, I really, really want that. I've wanted this for so long. I keep working towards it. And then it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And it just keeps going round and round. Okay. All right. I just got off on a tangent because I got really excited. I had to explain why I'm so high energy. So you have to message me today, because tomorrow is the last day to get in on the early bird, right? Like I said, before it goes up double the price. So, and we start this Wednesday. We've already got it all going, got it all sorted. So make sure you private message me so you can get into that program. It's $179 is the investment, and that gives you as well. So this is what I mean by the VIP bonus upgrade. That's actually worth $200, and that's 2 group coaching calls via private Facebook group with me. So you can actually get my personalized help in the 14 days following the workshop. You're going to get daily emails from me to keep kicking your ass, keep you accountable, keep you supported. But right now, today and tomorrow's the last day that you can get the bonus VIP upgrade and get those 2 group coaching calls as well, which means you actually get my personalized feedback. Through those 2 group coaching calls, you can ask me the stuff that really kind of digs deep for you, right? So that's a really, really awesome upgrade, and you need to get in now to get that, all right? Cool. Whew, okay, now let's get into today's live stream. So what I wanted to talk to you about, I am inside your head. I know what's going on, right? And this is something that I've discovered in the past, especially in the past few weeks. I've been doing like a really intense mindset work on myself. And I've spoken about this in other live streams, so I'm not going to go into the details. But basically, I've discovered that I am a hardcore hustler. I am a ridiculously hard worker. When I apply myself to something, I do not take my foot off the fucking pedal at all. Like I will do the freaking work. I've always been like that. Always, completely driven, completely motivated. And I think you have as well. This is what I mean. I think you are as well. However, I've been doing a lot of mindset work because there's a lot of subconscious, unconscious stuff that I'm having to deal with from my upbringing, from an abusive dad, from a very controlling family, only child syndrome, all that kind of stuff. Lots of things that I picked up as a child, unconscious, subconscious beliefs that I'm having to deal with in terms of how I view the world and all that kind of thing, so that I can allow the things that I want even more into my life, right? And so in this work, this intense work on my mindset, it has been crazy at how quickly I've realized that I can read your mind. And the reason I know this, even because I don't know who you are right now, because I don't think anyone's on the live stream, so therefore no one can say hi and let me know. But if you're watching this on a replay, I know who you are because you're me, right? And the reason I've realized this is because I literally repel people who are not meant to work with me, who are not meant to be in my sphere. And this is something I'm coming to terms with again, with that hero complex of not trying to rescue everyone, right? To basically realize I'm not meant to help everyone. I'm really not. As much as I'd love to say, oh yeah, I'm just going to like infiltrate everyone's lives. And to some degree, I probably can. Like to some degree, my programs and my live streams and my content, my YouTube videos, my blogs, all that kind of stuff, to some degree, for sure, they can definitely inspire and impact everyone, right? But on another whole level, I'm just not meant to be working with everyone, for the pure and simple reason that I need to be working with the people that I know deep down are exactly like me, because then I can get you to where you want to be, right? So you look at, that basically I'm the next level, the 2.0 version of where you're at, right? So whether it's health and fitness, whether you want to get the dream body that you wanted, feel amazing, have ridiculous amounts of energy, not have to sleep 8 hours a day. Like, fuck, God, that's like a third of your life. Get a grip. Have something else to do, okay? Don't get me started on sleep again. Whatever it is, whether it's health and fitness stuff, right? So that you want to upgrade your life basically in that way, and you want to design your lifestyle in a way that you feel energetic and fit and healthy and sexy as fuck and whatever else that you want, right? Whether it's that you look at me and go, yeah, okay, I want that. I want what she's having. How do I get that? Whether it's relationship stuff, right? So, as I've spoken on many sort of live streams and stuff about my story about how I met my husband and that he's absolutely my soulmate and the greatest person I've ever met in my entire life. And I did not have very stable relationships before him. Well, that's not true. I've had some, maybe one actual healthy relationship before him. And there was a lot of learning curves there about attracting what you deserve, demanding from the universe what you actually want, and not settling for less, right? So there's a lot of that. So basically, I know that if you're already watching my stuff, if you are resonating with it, if you are finding that you're like, okay, yeah, I want what she's having, then by default, I know what you're thinking. I know what is going on in your head because it's going on in my head. So it's so easy for me to be like, well, I know that this program is right for you, right? Like say Winning Mindset Smackdown. It's easy for me to say, I know that this is what you need because it's exactly what I would have needed back then when I had no idea how to stop this, when I was just yo-yoing around and just going up and down and constantly, like I said, one step forward, two steps back or whatever. I know that back then that was exactly what I needed, is I needed someone to step in, kick my ass, get me accountable, get me supported, give me the tools to actually work out what I need to work out, because obviously it wasn't working what I was doing because it was still happening. And then keep me accountable, keep me supported, and give me that one-on-one time, right? So that's exactly what I did. I'm like, well, what would me back then, when sabotage was such a huge issue for me and I was so frustrated and so over it, what is it that I would have needed back then and wanted back then? And therefore, that's what I know you need, because you are me. We are to the same person, right? Like, of course, there's going to be differences, personality, everything. Going to be heaps and heaps of differences. We are all unique. However, at the core, and this is what I mean, is the way that I've just so quickly been repelling the wrong people and attracting the right people towards me in the past couple of weeks at such a rapid pace, is because I got really honest with what at my core I am, and therefore at what you at your core are and what you need, right? And this is it. Here it is. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you about you that I am inside your mind. You want more, right? Right from a very young age, you've known that you are just destined for more. Plain and simple, right? There was something inside of you that just said, this is not it. This is not the status quo. You looked at your parents, you looked at your friends' parents, you looked at society in general. And right from even as a young kid, you like to pick out the stuff that was like, no, this isn't good enough. This isn't right. I want better than this. And you wanted it, right? So for example, for me, one of the first things I decided when I was very, very young, and this would have been like, a really, really young age, was I was going to become a lawyer because I love my dog. And I thought it was unfair that dogs couldn't get into national parks, which now as an adult, I understand why. But as a kid, I just thought it was horrible because I love my dog and he loved me and he wanted to come with us on holidays. It made him really sad. And I decided that, no, this is not good enough. I want to be able to take my dog on holidays. Obviously, still national parks now are not allowed to have the dogs in them, but they've accommodated them in many other ways, right? Caravan parks and whatever else it is, so you can still take your dog on holiday now. Much easier. So, someone did that job for me, which is awesome. Thank you. However, that's what I mean is I know what you were like as a kid, because you wanted more. You kept challenging things. You kept pushing things. You kept looking to kind of not necessarily be a rebel or step outside the lines for the sake of it, but just because you thought it was just bullshit. You were just like, well, why? Why is everybody doing this? Why are all these lemmings falling into line this way? Why? I don't get it. It's a very different personality. It's to the troublemakers, right? So if you think back to school, again, school's easy, and you think back to the kids that were known as like the bad boys, the troublemakers, right? The ones who basically just liked to create trouble for the sake of creating trouble, for being rebels, for being bad boys, bad girls, whatever it is. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about when you just like, you just kept being pushed from within to do something else, to do something different, to find another way, to not get sucked into just doing everything the way everybody else was. And it wasn't because you wanted to rebel. It wasn't just because you wanted to prove a point to anyone. It was purely because you just didn't get it. You didn't understand why everybody was buying into this idea that this is all there is. You may have grown up watching, you know, or listening to like Tony Robbins and those kind of books and audios and all that kind of thing. I know I did. And it kind of woke you up to this idea that, hold on, I am in charge of this. I can create my life exactly as I want. Why are more people not doing this? Why are so many people checked out of their own lives? Like, it would baffle you, right? And I'm sure it still baffles you now that you're like, yeah, but when are you going to start living? When are you actually going to start engaging with your life and creating something? Like, you're not here to drift past from holiday to holiday and just hope that the time passes quickly in between. Like, that's so sad. And so this is what I mean by I know what's going on inside your head, because this is exactly what was going on inside my head and what still continues to go on in my head now. It still frustrates me to no end. But it's gone to the point now where the people who are the lemmings, the ones who do just want to fall into the status quo, don't want to even breach the idea that there might be more to life, that they could actually achieve a shitload more if they wanted to, that they actually could create their dream life if they just actually applied themselves to it and, you know, took action towards it and actually decided it in their mind. Those people are just like, they're gone. They're gone. They will literally weed themselves out of your life the same way that they've weeded themselves out of my life in the way that they come in and then they're just gone like that. And it was like, it is so fast to the point that I will meet this person and like half an hour later, they're gone because they've already gone off into their mediocre land, right? And look, there's nothing... No, I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a real shame, basically. I think it's an absolute waste of a life, because this is what, you know, as humans, we are designed to create. We are designed to expand. We are designed to grow. So I think it's a waste of a life. But whatever. What I think of someone else is absolutely none of their business, and what they think of me is absolutely none of my business. That's just perception. It's just my thing. And the less I think about it, the happier I am. So I choose not to. But when it comes to you and attracting the people into my life and into my tribe, into this community, into, you know, engaging with my content, with what I do, I know who I'm attracting and I know who you are, because I know what you are, who you are at your core. And I know that that is that you are just, you're powerful. You want more. You demand more. You cannot... As much as you might be able to numb yourself with some sort of sabotage here and there, and you kind of, and that's why I'm doing this sabotage training, because sabotage isn't a huge issue for people who don't want anything else, right? If you aren't really committed to anything, if you don't really have any goals, sabotage isn't really an issue, because, well, you're not working towards anything in the first place. However, for people like you, like me, for whom sabotage does keep coming up, it is because of the type of personality that we have. It is because we are driven. It is because you are powerful. It is because you are destined and determined for more, right? And because you know that, because you're in that position, it's almost like it calls to you. And then when you get off course or whatever, and this is what we're going to cover in the training, when you veer off the course of where you know deep in your soul you're meant to be going, you will start sabotaging, because you're not true to your core, and you have so much strength, so much power inside of you, that the sabotage has to come, because your soul is basically crying and going, no, 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 I don't want to do this. Get me the fuck out of this. And you're not listening. So it's going to sabotage to try and get you there. It's trying to rescue you. But anyway, I'm going into like almost pretty much the start of like what the training is going to be like on sabotage in the Winning Mindset Smackdown. So it's going to be incredible. If this is like starting to ring some bells for you, then this is just the beginning. This workshop will blow your mind. But this is how I know what's inside your head, because it's inside my head. It's exactly the same stuff that I've been thinking. So when I bring something out, when I produce new program, produce new content, whether it's a live stream like this, whatever it is, I know that it is exactly what you need to hear. I know that it is exactly what is going to resonate with you because it's what resonates with me, right? So I'm going to have a drink, some more BCAAs. I'm looking forward to getting my fruit ones back. I've been trying the coffee flavor one recently. And whilst I love it because I love coffee, I find that I can't water it down as much because it then just tastes like watered down coffee, which is horrible if you've ever had that. But the fruit one, watered down, actually tastes pretty fine. So I'm going to go back to the fruity ones soon, once this one's done. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say. Basically this, right? You're powerful. You are destined and you are determined to do more with life. There is a reason that you are like this. And it is not because God is cruel or the universe is cruel and it just wants to keep giving you pain and keep throwing hardships at you. This is a choice. This is a choice to believe what I'm about to say, but it's a really powerful one that you can make. You will never get given any challenges, you, me, us, whoever, will never get given any challenges in life that we are not capable of handling. And this may seem ridiculously unfair because I know that a lot of people, especially people like myself, people like you, my clients, a lot of my friends, that kind of thing, because I attract the same kind of person, this powerful type of person, I know there is a lot of shit that we have all been through, right? That you have been through, difficult times, definitely, that I've dealt with. If you don't know my story, it's a long story, but there's a lot of self-harm in the terms of binge eating, a lot of self-hate. My father killed himself last year. There's a lot, right? We all go through really difficult stuff. And to some people, it will actually seem like, and you've seen this around you, that compared to other people, you might have gone through a hell of a lot more, right? In terms of the stuff, the trauma that's happened in your life. Or vice versa. You might know other people that have just gone through so much more than you. And it kind of almost seems unfair, right? But the truth is everything, and this is a choice. When I say the truth, I mean your choice to believe this. Your choice is, and the truth is, that whatever you go through, whatever hardship you go through, that becomes your superpower. And this is one of the things I say so often, that it's exactly what I've come up with, and it's what I absolutely resonate with at the core of my message, live life on purpose, right? Is that I believe whatever you go through, everything difficult that you go through creates your superpower. If I hadn't gone through the things I've gone through, the pain that I've gone through, grown in the way that I had to, strengthen myself in the way that I had to because of it, I would not be the person I am today. And it takes a hell of a lot to get to a point where you can say something like, I'm grateful for what my dad put me through, because it's actually honest now, right? Because it's got me to where I am now. I'm not saying that I'm grateful that he killed himself. I'm saying that I'm grateful for the opportunity for me to grow in a whole other way because of this. I'm thankful that I have gotten myself to a point where this has actually strengthened me. This has developed me. This has shown me a side of myself that I didn't even know was there. And it's given me an opportunity to heal and to forgive in a way that in the past, being the kind of people we are, you probably quite familiar with shutting things down, shutting your feelings down. I came across, I don't know how I came across this when I would have been very young, like minus 10 years of age, and probably just reading a lot of stuff. I came across this terminology called compartmentalization. If you haven't heard of this before, it's a process that they teach for like secret agents and things like that, which just basically means to compartmentalize is to, especially to compartmentalize your feelings, is to basically put them in a box and set them aside so that you're not dealing with them at the moment, so that whatever, especially for like a CIA type agent or whatever it is, they need to be able to focus exactly on their work, regardless if their family member just died, if they've just had their marriage fall apart, if they've just, whatever trauma they've gone through, they need to be able to set that aside, set their feeling completely aside for the time being, because they can't deal with it at the time and go and do their job, right? Because it's kind of crucial. So I learned this at a very, very young age, which at the time I thought was fantastic. Like that just, it made it so easy to just put on a persona and just like, you know, put my feelings aside. But as a kid, you don't do things very correctly all the time. And so I actually took that to mean, well, just keep setting my feelings aside. Just keep putting them aside until you don't feel anything, right? And I went through a phase for probably 6 or 7 years where I couldn't cry. You could not make me cry. There was just no, I could feel sad for sure, but no, couldn't do it. And still even now I don't do it too often, but it's a different sort of feeling, right? So when it comes to that point where you have to kind of realize that, well, okay, all this difficult stuff that's happened to me, yeah, it's not fair, yeah, it sucks, yeah, other people may not have gone through all of the stuff that you've gone through, but they don't have the superpower that you have now. They don't have the growth and the strength that you developed because of that. And that is exactly why you're here. That is exactly why you're listening to this. That is exactly why you resonate with what I say, because you get that, right? And you wouldn't get that, and you wouldn't be able to understand it, and you wouldn't be able to feel it if you weren't that type of person. Because the type of people, like I said, the 99%, the lemmings, the ones that just are happy to coast through, or not even happy, just basically numb to life and just going to coast through, they're not going to feel that kind of stuff. They're not going to, sure, they'll have hardships, but they'll deal with it in the same kind of steady sort of way. The reason that you have sabotage, the reason that you have all that powerful emotion inside of you is because the intensity of your life, the intensity of your goals, the intensity of your power from within, your power, is so much higher, so much more intense. And therefore, it has to balance itself out. There has to be that, well, if that's going to be that intense, the pain and therefore the growth and then therefore the happiness that you are capable of is just like levels and levels and levels above what the average person is capable of. And so this is what I realized is like, I can't pretend anymore that I'm speaking to the 99% when I'm not, because they're just not going to get this, right? They're not going to be resonating with this. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, scroll through, continue on, watch another cat video, right? The reason that you're watching this is because you resonate with it, is because you get it, is because you are in my mind and I am in yours, and vice versa. And it's going to be very simple. And this is why I can connect. And this is why I can bring out programs and stuff that make you go, well, yeah, duh, this is exactly what I need, because I'm in your head and I'm in there because I'm in my head. And therefore it's a very simple process, right? All right. I think I'm done with that. Let me just check in. Yeah. We're done. The live stream's done. All right. So before I go, have to make sure I tell you, I know I told you at the start of the live stream, but if you're watching this, then therefore you need to like be reminded, I guess. So make sure you private message me to get into the Winning Mindset Smackdown. We start this Wednesday and tomorrow is the last day to get in on the early bird rate. After that, it's going to double and you miss out on the VIP upgrade. You have to pay for that. And that's a two free group coaching calls that you're going to get as well in the 14 days following on. So there's plenty of information all through my stream about all the details. I'm not going to run through all of that again. If you want that, just private message me. I'll send you the links. That'll be easier. What I do want to leave you with is this. If you are the kind of person that is born for more, that is destined for more, that you've always just pushed the envelope, not for the sake of being a rebel or for the sake of just annoying people, but for the sake of your soul, you've just known there is more that you want. There is more in terms of your health and fitness, in terms of your career, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your very being, your very essence, the kind of work, the kind of legacy that you're going to leave behind. If this is you, then you're going to suffer from sabotage in ways that other people would not even comprehend, right? And more to the point, it's going to be a lot easier with the training that I'm doing for you to actually overcome it, because it's not going to be all the basic shit that other people may go through when they're like, oh yeah, I'm trying to lose some weight, but I just had a pizza and I know. Yeah, sorry, I don't know where that voice came from. No, I get it. I get that there's more internal stuff going on here and it's frustrating the shit out of you and you just wish that you could get a grip on it and just get your hands on it and just be like, done, gone. And that is exactly what this training is about, because if there's one thing I know backwards and forwards and inside out, it is sabotage. I've been there. I've been there with binge eating. I've been there with sleeping. I've been there with TV watching. I've been there with just procrastinating, everything, right? So I get it. I get how frustrating it is when you have this goal in your mind and you're like, why can't I stick to anything? Why can't I just be consistent? Anna keeps saying just consistency. Why can't I do it? And especially when I promise this thing to my husband and this thing to my partner and this thing to my sister and this thing to my colleague and I get it all fucking done, why am I not getting done the stuff that actually matters to me? It's me. It's me. It's you. Why can't I get the stuff I want, right? So I get that. And this is exactly what this training is for. It is exactly for you, who is the powerful, driven, always wanting more, always growing more, and always going to be challenged, but in a good way, because you are just destined for way, 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 way higher than the average 99%. That's not even average, but that's what we'll call it, right? Because let's call it what it is. You are that 1%, which therefore means you need to deal with things a little bit differently. So don't forget, make sure you private message me today. The early bird rate will finish tomorrow. So get in right now, send me a private message. I will send you the link. I will give you all of the details so you can read to your heart's content and watch more live streams to your heart's content. But you know what? You know if this is for you. You know if this is a problem for you, if this is something that you're like, yep, okay, I need this. I need to deal with this. I need to move forward. I want to start smashing my goals like the goddess I am. I am done with sabotage. Just get me there, right? If this is you, then you already know that this is the program for you. Send me a private message straight away. Let's get you in. Let's get you sorted. And we start on Wednesday this week, June the 7th. I'm very, very excited. Have a fantastic day and I will talk to you later. Any questions? If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them down below. And I will check back on them later or just send me a private message. Either way is fine. Have a fantastic Saturday. And remember to live life on purpose. Bye.